You're listening to the Custom Home Building Experience podcast from the Stillwater Group. This creative and responsive custom home building organization is driven by a process of articulate management, intricate knowledge, and meticulous execution of every custom home build. And now, let's hear where this episode goes.
Another element of the SWG experience is Icynene. If you go and look at any Stillwater Group custom home, you'll find the Icynene Spray Foam insulation. It's a one-step insulation and air barrier for homes, but more so, it is the common standard for any Stillwater Group home. Spray foam insulation is a method of insulating and air sealing by using a spray application. It looks kind of cool. I was up in one of the attics, and it almost looked like somebody took some old, you could say shaving cream and went ballistic, went nuts, went everywhere. The foam sprays on as a liquid, but then it expands, sort of like shaving cream, and it fills and seals the cavity or surface in which it's applied to. As the Icynene expands, it seeps into all the nooks and crannies to form a continuous air barrier. And this is a continuous air barrier in all Stillwater Group homes. Now, the Icynene differentiates itself from traditional types of insulation because it controls unwanted random air leakage. If you've ever been up into an attic, I'm sure you notice a drastic difference in the feel, in the temperature. And traditional insulation, that's what it's known for. With Icynene, you can get that barrier. You can have a very small differential in temperature, and more so the savings when it comes to heat, when it comes to cooling, are exponentially greater. Icynene insulation contributes to the air quality and the comfort of every single Stillwater Group home because it seals those tiny cracks, and the places where normal penetration of air quality that would come through on any given normal home, you're not going to see it here. That goes from the airborne irritants. That goes to bugs. That goes to other issues. This is putting a super seal, if you will, across every wall opening. At the same time, Icynene insulation helps control the moisture buildup in all Stillwater Group homes. A lot of the damaging moisture within a home is usually the result of air movement that's gone through those cavities, those areas that can penetrate. When warm air meets a cold surface within a cavity, it condenses. And if it's not found in time, here's where we begin to see the mold issues. Icynene creates continuous insulated tight walls and ceilings that help minimize the potential for moisture, condensation, and mold. And it's even proven out. Icynene has been tested and proven not to be a food source for mold. The other part too, or another part to add to this, it helps with noise reduction. Just as Icynene is sealing against the transfer of air and the accompanying moisture, it also helps reduce the transfer of noise. The sound dampening qualities of Icynene insulation bring down that noise volume. And for those relatively thin walls, you're now allowing for a greater audio privacy. Now, when you think about the long term as well, access, repair, whether it's electrical or plumbing, this foam, as great a seal as it is, can easily be cut away and removed so that plumbing or electrical wiring can be accessed simply, and then that area, you can use an Icynene touch-up kit, and boom, you just recreated the air seal. That's a lot easier than ripping up a whole bunch of insulation, a whole dirty situation, and a lot of extra time. I was up there a few months ago in one of the Stillwater Group models, and one of the things that stood out the strongest, beyond the seal and the lack of the temperature differential between inside to the attic, I also noticed and was surprised there's no odor. There's no blowing agents, no CFCs, those chlorofluorocarbons, or the stuff that you don't want to be smelling. This spray foam insulation is produced by mixing two components at a very high temperature. This allows the foam to atomize during installation. Now, this process does create an odor and requires venting while the foam is curing or setting. And it sets within seconds. And then it no longer produces an odor. Now, it's going to take about 24 hours for the odor to completely dissipate, but after that, it's gone and it's not coming back. Another question you might have about Icynene: can a house be made too airtight? And the answer is builders have to build tight and ventilate right. With the proper use of exhaust fans and heat energy recovery ventilators, a home envelope can be made tight while clean, healthy air is circulated through the structure. Air leakage needs to be controlled in houses by making wall and attic assemblies as tight as possible. More details about this can be found on the Icynene website. And here again, this not only prevents drafts but reduces the amount of airborne noise and dust from entering the home while ensuring that insulated cavities remain moisture-free. You can also rest assured Icynene meets code requirements relating to fire safety. Icynene Spray Foam is a Class 1 material with a flame spread of less than or equal to 25. Independent third-party testing also confirms that electrical wiring is not affected by Icynene. Dangers of overheating were not found to be a concern during testing. Now, maybe you want to know how long it lasts. Icynene foam lasts indefinitely. When correctly installed and not altered with, the foam will last the life of your home. Spray foam insulation adheres extremely well to virtually all substrates. Icynene's light density products remain soft and flexible to expand and contract with the home during the seasonal changes that you experience around Lake Kiwi. All of these points culminate to the reason why the Stillwater Group and Brandon Ike make Icynene a standard for every Stillwater Group custom home build. In a, if you will, wrap up, the Icynene performance advantages and the Icynene spray foam reduce the risks of replacing HVAC equipment due to short cycling. They eliminate the need to replace worn or damaged insulation. It eliminates cooling time for airflow and ductwork. It reduces potential for mold growth in your home. It also contributes to sound resistance near highways, airports, etc. Not too loud out on Lake Kiwi, but occasionally you got that boat going by where somebody has 4 engines in the back. It also reduces random air leaks and limits the penetration of outdoor allergens and pollutants by contributing to better indoor air quality. And lastly, it can help reduce monthly heating and cooling bills dramatically. Icynene is an amazing answer when it comes to insulation, and Icynene is a standard for all Stillwater Group homes. If you want to find out a little bit more about Icynene, visit Icynene.com. That's Icynene.com. If you want to see it in play, visit the StillwaterGroup.net. Take a walk through the home, but then go up into the attic. See a perfect example of how every Stillwater Group home is sealed correctly, effectively, productively to make the air that much better, to reduce the noise that much more, and to save you that much more money on the heating and cooling bills.
More about the Stillwater Group, Brandon Ike, as well as the meticulous, luxurious, and beautiful homes that can be found all over Lake Kiwi, Peninsula Ridge, and South Carolina. Visit www.thestillwatergroup.net.